Loki's last crime. Loki's last crime, and the one which filled his measure of iniquity, was to induce Hoder to throw the fatal mistletoe at Balder, whom he hated merely on account of his immaculate purity. Perhaps even this crime might have been condoned, had it not been for his obduracy, when, in the disguise of the old woman Thok, he was called upon to shed a tear for Balder. His action on this occasion convinced the gods that nothing but evil remained within him, and they pronounced unanimously upon him the sentence of perpetual banishment from Asgard. Aegir's banquet. To divert the gods' sadness and make them, for a short time, forget the treachery of Loki and the loss of Balder, Aegir, god of the sea, invited them to partake of a banquet in his coral caves at the bottom of the sea. Now to assuage the high god's grief, and bring their mourning some relief, from coral caves 'neath ocean waves, mighty King Aegir invited the Aesir to festival in Helesi's hall, that though for Balder every guest was grieving, yet he might forget awhile his woe in friendly lest. Valhalla by J.C. Jones. The gods gladly accepted the invitation, and clad in their richest garb, and with their festive smiles, they appeared in the coral caves at the appointed time. None were absent save the radiant Balder, for whom many a regretful sigh was heaved, and the evil Loki, whom none could regret. In the course of the feast, however, this last-named god appeared in their midst like a dark shadow, and when bidden to depart, he gave vent to his evil passions in a torrent of invective against the gods. Of the Aesir and the Alfar that are here within, not one has a friendly word for thee. Aegir's computation, or Loki's altercation, Thorpe's translation. Then, jealous of the praises which Funfang, Aegir's servant, had won for the dexterity with which he waited upon his master's guests, Loki suddenly turned upon him and slew him. At this wanton crime, the gods in fierce wrath drove Loki away once more, threatening him with dire punishment should he ever appear before them again. Scarcely had the Aesir recovered from this disagreeable interruption to their feast, and resumed their places at the board, when Loki came creeping in once more, resuming his slanders with venomous tongue, and taunting the gods with their weaknesses or shortcomings, dwelling maliciously upon their physical imperfections, and deriding them for their mistakes. In vain the gods tried to stem his abuse. His voice rose louder and louder, and he was just giving utterance to some base slander about Sif when he was suddenly cut short by the sight of Thor's hammer, angrily brandished by an arm whose power he knew full well, and fled incontinently. Silence, thou impure being, my mighty hammer Mjolnir shall stop thy prating. I will thy head from thy neck strike, then will thy life be ended. Aegir's computation, or Loki's altercation, Thorpe's translation. So that was Loki's last crime and Aegir's banquet, the 6th and 7th sections of chapter 22 of Myths of the Norsemen by Helene A Guerber, Loki. I will be working my way through this book section by section, and if there are any other public domain books that you would like for me to read, please leave a comment below. Did you enjoy this video? Then subscribe for more, and be sure to check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon. Thank you for listening, and have a lovely evening.